Hey guys, two very special guests in the studio with me. Constance Hall,
Hi.
the most extraordinary blogger probably that we've seen this year around the world. She's just come off the back of her book tour. And then we've got Dr. Leon. So we're here, really important message. This Sunday, 20th of November, the big pram walk. This week is Perinatal Depression, Anxiety and Awareness Week. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what perinatal is, I was just talking to you about it. A lot of us are familiar with the term postnatal,
That's right.
Myself included, and something I'm extremely passionate about. But this week is about, I guess, raising awareness, and that's what this Sunday is all about. Getting beautiful queens together and even gentlemen to come together and say, hey, it's okay to not be okay.
Postnatal depression and perinatal depression affects men as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't just affect women. So the stats are that somewhere around about 1 in 10 women in fact 1 in 7 get perinatal anxiety depression.
Wow.
But about 1 in 20 men get it.
I find it really interesting that a lot of men get that. I've
Yeah.
had friends whose husbands have just turned when they had the babies, and I always thought it was a selfish thing because you're not getting out as much and you're not, but if it's more of a...
Men often find, especially more in the past, they're just withdrawn. And then that looks like they don't care.
Yeah.
But they're just struggling. They
Yeah.
don't know what to do. And in particular, they don't know how to help their girl.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's what
she's struggling.
men love to do, don't they? That's what
Fix it.
they want to fix things.
Yeah.
So for those people who don't really get what perinatal is, we were
So
just talking about it off camera. It's-
Perinatal is not just after the delivery when
Yeah.
you've got your baby. It's in pregnancy as well.
The minute you conceive? From
Well,
then
virtually,
until after
yeah.
you've had the baby?
Virtually.
Okay. Yeah.
But what that inclusion, that recent change of terminology from postnatal to perinatal is really because there are women dying of depression from suicide in pregnancy. And
See, that blows my mind. We talked
too.
about that just off camera before. To hear that a mother would take her own life when she's carrying a child because she's taking...
depression is a psychotic disease.
And we don't talk about this.
You lose touch with reality. You
Yeah.
don't make sensible decisions.
Yeah.
But
Can you-
even more so, anxiety is the epidemic of this generation now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
So can you just tell us what you were talking about with me and Heidi before about it being the #1 killer in pregnancy?
Yeah, so depression leading to suicide is the #1 reason for women dying in pregnancy.
I found that I was always scared that I was going to bleed out during my C-section, or like I was going to have something go wrong and I was going to die. Like I always have that big fear
Yeah.
of death, and it was always going to happen during whereas I actually had perinatal depression, but nobody diagnosed it. When I went for my 6-week check, I said to my doctor, he said, any signs of depression? Are you feeling any good? Are you feeling bad or anything? And I
Yeah.
said, no, I feel great. Like I feel great once the baby's out. I said, it makes me think that I might actually get prenatal depression if that's
Yeah.
a thing. And he goes, no, you're fine. You're just, you're a burden. Don't worry about it. So okay, because I was better, so it didn't bother me so much. But now that I hear you explain that, I realise that I actually get perinatal depression. And meanwhile, I was never on the verge of committing suicide, but I was so scared of death. And it was actually all directed in the wrong place. I should have been looking after
Well,
my
the thing
own.
is that it's actually a spectrum.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't get depression. You get sad, you get teary, you get frustrated, you get anxious, and it builds, and then
it
it becomes
spirals.
really into trouble at the
Yeah.
end. But it's actually a spectrum, and young parents need support all the way along, and we need to put in strategies, and we need to encourage people to be able to say, hey, yeah, I need some help
Yeah.
at each stage along the way. It's not just a black and white type, I got depression or I didn't.
I've talked to girlfriends who are really struggling with their pregnancy, who have fallen, or with their kids who have fallen pregnant with their girlfriends, and they're saying, I'm seeing them on Facebook have these perfect lives and it's giving me anxiety.
Yeah.
So that's
And
why I love
what
that
I found about my women that read my stuff. Somebody said to me, are you scared that no one's going to want to have kids after reading
Yeah.
your book? And I said, yeah, I am.
Well, a little
because,
bit.
yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
The feedback that I get is women going to me, I feel like I can have babies now because I was scared that I was going to have to be perfect,
Yeah.
and I was scared of not, and now I feel like
Yeah.
there's a whole
Yeah.
area of women that are like totally
Yeah.
messing everything up,
Yeah.
and I can be part of them, and I can just get it wrong every day and I'll be okay.
The main message here is that on Sunday we want as many people, men and women, to come together
Absolutely.
for the big prep. I know the reason why I was super excited about meeting, yourself and chatting to you again is because my grandma took her own life. I think it must have been 62 years ago now, and we believe that it was postnatal depression because she'd not long had my father beforehand, and my uncle was a couple of years older. And so that's something that I really think that we need to speak more about. Like, I know these days we are talking more about anxiety and depression, and I have it myself. I only came out this year, but it is something that women, we need. I didn't even know women were taking their own lives during pregnancy.
I didn't know that
like
either.
that is, I've actually never heard that before.
It's getting worse, and the reason it's worse, and it fits into why Constance is so fantastic at getting the same message out, is her authenticity helps to bring down people's expectations from unreal to real. But this generation of young mums now have the problem that their expectations are right up high. They expect, like, their child deserves to have the best mum, so I'm going to be the best mum.
Yeah.
Right. So they set themselves up right up there, and they come into it with no training.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if you asked me to do an appendix, you'd expect me to have real good training to match my expectations of how I'm going to perform. But we go into pregnancy with no training. Not only that, we have less support than previous generations. So, you know, our mums are working
They're
or
still
in
working.
different states.
Yeah.
Now we might so mobile, we might not live in the same place.
Yeah, that's so true.
So I think that's why you're authentic. You bring down expectations to real.
Yeah.
And then you're giving some support. And it's sad
That's
that we
so
have to get our
important to
support
me,
on
what
Facebook.
you said about-
But you're giving support. So what you're doing is narrowing that gap just by your work. Now, I don't use the same methods as you, and I may not use
Why
the same
not?
language as
Yeah, I
you,
was going to say, and the language.
but the message is the same. And, and that's why we make an odd couple. But we're on the same
But we're a happy couple.
Yes, and they look good together. I'm just sitting in the middle of you two. What, you know, men as well, looking out for what they should be looking for in their partner. Because I was doing some research on it before. There's a whole heap of things that you could see that your partner could be going through.
Yeah, look, as I was saying, it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you can't pick it up in your partner or in yourself because it's just one day melds into the other.
Yeah.
But when it starts getting to the point where you don't feel right about how you feel, and where others are saying, hey, are picking up just something wrong, I think you got to go with your gut on it.
Yeah.
We're crossed. You want to ask for help.
Well, so that's what's going to be so amazing about Sunday. I think that people coming together to support each other, and, you know, they might not even realise that they're going through something, and they come down just to maybe meet you or support this, you know, the whole awareness this week, and they might realise that by just through a conversation that they might be going through something.
Yeah.
I think it's more than that. What we're doing by promoting it, and what the participants are doing by coming down, is not just helping themselves and connecting and feeling good about themselves, but by bringing that awareness to a broader community, which is what you're doing now. So well done.
Thanks, guys.
By bringing that connection to a broader community, you're spreading the message, and, you know, we say it kills people. So maybe we touch some one person. And by this Sunday morning, by you coming down, by extra people coming down and creating a bigger sense of awareness in the media, etc., we're going to save lives.
I also think that I completely agree with that. And if we could save like just one life, and there's thousands of us there just for one life, it's so important to me. And normalising it, when you get there and you see that, because of what I do, I meet with, you know, I think I met with 1,000 women in Perth, and it was such a huge proportion of them were saying to me, we only met really quickly because we were saying to me, I've suffered really bad postnatal depression, I've suffered really bad postnatal anxiety. I couldn't believe how many of us there were that were struggling. It felt like a really like small little bubble though, they were coming and telling me. So the fact that we're all doing this together and we're all going, you can just be in a sea of people and feel really normal and okay about it. And I remember reading an article from Jessica Rowe. Do you know Jessica Rowe?
She's on Studio 10 now.
And she wrote an article back when I just had Arlo, and I really felt like the eyes were all like peering on me. Like, is she coping? Isn't she coping? She hasn't lost the weight. I don't know. That's really messy.
Yes,
She's
I read about
got
this
anxiety. She's got depression, and it felt like it was this big judgment rather than this like, do you need anything? And then when I read this beautiful article, I saw this beautiful woman who's like in the public eye, and she was going, "This is what I had, and this is how I deal with it." And I felt like, the more people that I could see that were sort of like going through stuff and suffering, to me, it not just normalizes it, but it makes it okay. And it's actually kind of cool, because I always tell people, I'm like, depression doesn't attack like dumb people.
Yeah.
It only goes for like really smart people. So I'm like, give me 5, you've got it. We're gonna work through this.
Yeah.
You're gonna be proud. We're like a freaking badge. And that's what I like about Sunday. I like that not only are we going, all right, cool, I'm not alone, but we can like exchange numbers, and this is our community. You know, like it's not it's not online. My therapist said to me, she goes, "You've got homework," and I was like, "What?" She goes, "You're not allowed on Facebook for a week." This is ages ago. Don't
I was
worry.
going to say, not now. You can't do that
Don't
now.
worry, I'd never do it to anyone. Anyway, it lasted an hour. And I went straight back on Facebook. So what I took from that was that she told me I needed to do face-to-face contact. That's really important, everyday face-to-face contact. But she also said to me that I can't go on Facebook because it's got so much negativity. So I really loved Facebook. I love social media. So I decided to take all the negativity out of social media and just use it positively, which is great. But when I did my face-to-face contact with people, I was feeling alive when I left. Like I always want to cancel things. People go, let's have coffee. I go, yeah, that'd be great.
And then you get to the time and you're
that's
like,
an anxiety thing, and you just try and pull out all the time. So then when I go, I don't want to go, Bill, I don't want to go, and I drag myself out the house, and I come back, and I'm a different person.
One-on-one
just
as soon as you get there.
Yes, and I think that's the feeling we're going to have on Sunday. Everyone's going to walk away just feeling that like sense of aliveness and inspiration.
There's another message that I'd like, especially mums, to understand too. That it's not their fault. If they're struggling, it's not their fault.
And they're not a bad mother.
No, there's a whole context. There's a baby, and you can't tell if the baby's going to be a little devil, scream all day long,
or like have reflux.
Be an
That's
angel,
what a lot of my friends have.
Have all these other things. You can't predict that, and it isn't your fault. And you're not responsible for fixing your child. And so many young mums want to fix it and have them this perfect little angel who sleeps all the time and doesn't cry. And of course, babies cry all day long.
That's not real.
It's just not real. So we have false expectations, and we take too much responsibility to ourselves. And the more we get together and talk about share stories, the more you share your story, that you share your story of your dad, and etc. Then that normalises it, helps people to realise, hang on a minute, okay, it's not me.
When I had my twins, Snowy, beautiful little snowdrop, she sleeps and she's kind and she smiles. Rumi, who I just am so besotted with, and I'm protective of him because he's not likeable to strangers, but he's just like, and he was refluxy and he wouldn't sleep, and so that taught me so much, because I was like, if I was a first timer with rooms, I would be like, I'm not doing a very good job, I'm screwing this up, he's not sleeping. Whereas if I was the first timer with Snow, I'd be like, I've got this parenting thing nutted.
When I get a group of families together in one room, we do like these clinics where we vaccinate them, and all together, they all mums and dad support each other. So you hear the babies cry. Right now, we're doing exactly the same thing to each one. And some babies cry, and some ear-piercing screaming, and they can't come back from it. They sort of cross over to the dark side. They can't come back.
It turns into something else.
It's no longer hurting them, but they just can't come back. And we can't choose it. It's not our fault as parents that it's just the way they are.
And it's not a gene thing either, because you can have one that's just easy and one that's hard. So it's got nothing to do with you at all.
Oh, well, we can stuff it up. It's true. We can drop them on their head. There's a couple of things. But really, my view of a successful parent, especially in that first 6 weeks, is that your child is nourished. Somehow we've got some food into him or her. Right? We haven't dropped him on his head. And somewhere in the day, we've got a little bit of rest so that we're sane. And that the mother's sanity is sort of one of the most important things of holding. All the rest, does he sleep this way or that way, or has he got a dummy or not got a dummy, or am I breastfeeding and bottle feeding, although there are definite advantages of breastfeeding. But all those other things, they really fall into almost trivia compared to
the mum's sanity
and the general well-being of that baby.
And so I always think that, like, we put so much emphasis on these women, and we're saying, no, you need to do this, you need to do that. Make sure you're healthy though. Go to a doctor if you feel. And the women can feel really overwhelmed. So if we can sort of try and encourage everyone, and that's what I like about the Big Pram Walk, because it's not just for women, it's not just for sufferers, it's for the community to put their hands up and say, I really give a shit. I really give a shit about mums and women, and I want to be there to support, and and I want to take a bit of that burden off. You know, it's going to be really hard for a woman who suffers to just go there on her own and feel, you know, like it's hard. It's not easy to just rock up somewhere. It's a lot better if you feel like the community is doing it too and they're supporting you.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what this Sunday is all about. We'll chuck all the details below. Thank you so much, Dr. Leon, for coming in. Smart guy. And you, my girlfriend, my new best friend.
Done. Sorry, Annalise.
Sorry, Beck. So real. Keep doing what you're doing, and amazing that you're supporting such a great cause this Sunday. So we'll chuck all the deets down below,
See you there.
and we'll see you there.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.